iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes. The best or nothing.
This is not the hair that I see when I get off the elevator with her in the morning.
Can you explain the hair?
5:45.
This isn't a trick question. I want to hear it.
Is that a poodle?
There's something in there, right?
What is it? Is that really your hair?
Yeah, I don't know
That's
how
all
I
of your
did
hair?
it, so I can't help you.
Usually you have like a sort of a Keebler elf scarf knit
Yeah,
cap
right?
on when
My
you get
mom
off
calls
the
it the
elevator in the
schmacka.
morning.
She's like,
and
always
we're
with the
wiping the
schmacka.
sleep out of our eyes. And look at you, glamorized.
Thank you.
Glamorized
Got patent
for
leather
the
shoes
launch
and
of the
everything.
iHeart Broadway channel. Amazing.
That's because this is kind of as exciting for me as I feel like anyone who's blessed enough to walk through here on the stage, because I went to musical theater high school. So the fact that our company is now kind of bringing Broadway to the forefront for people who weren't paying attention before is exciting and responsible.
Well, the fascinating thing to me about Broadway, because I've covered Broadway now for 30 years for the New York Post, and now it's 710 WOR. When I started on Broadway, it really was kind of this backwater of the entertainment business. And the Tony Awards were not very highly rated, and Broadway was kind of a sleepy place. And then I remember this show came along, and I saw it the day after the young man who wrote it died. And that man was Jonathan Larson, and the show was Rent.
Oh.
And Rent turned everything around, and suddenly Broadway was for young people. It was rock and roll. It was contemporary. It was hip. And now all the shows you see today that are successes, Book of Mormon, Dear Evan Hansen, and Hamilton, all the people who wrote those shows, they fell in love with Broadway because of Rent. Because Rent made Broadway for young people again. That was the show that changed everything around. And that's why Broadway now is, a show like Hamilton is as popular as any big movie.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows the score to Hamilton.
And
Everybody knows
it's
Hamilton.
impossible to get in because of the demands.
Call me, darling. I have a little clout. I can get you in.
Don't joke about that. I know where to find you.
You haven't seen Hamilton
I
yet?
haven't seen Hamilton. It's impossible to get in.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
Seen it 4 times.
Now you're just bragging.
But yeah, you think about that. Rent has really put Broadway front and center again in the mainstream of popular culture.
And it inspired the people who kind of front and centered it today.
Absolutely. And Broadway is hipper and younger than it's ever been in its 100-year history.
I love that. I will see you tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow
When
morning.
I ask you for tickets to Hamilton.
When you're wearing your sweatpants.
You made your own bed.
Sneakers, sweatpants, sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah, this is my evening attire. I don't look like this at 5:30.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes. The best or nothing.